What's up? IAMOBG for tastingskills.com. Welcome back. Okay, I know I took some time off. It's been like a month, but I'm back and I have a lot of really cool stuff coming up. So make sure to subscribe since this is part 1 of 4 parts covering the Mikkeller Brewery. Now, this is one of the great breweries in the world. They're distributed in over 50 countries. This brewery was originally founded by 2 students and 1 professor out of Copenhagen. They started in 2005 and they were just partnering with other breweries to do one-off brews at the start. They eventually built their own brewery and they make so many different beers. From the original date of their first release to now, they've produced over 2,000 beers. They do have a brewery in San Diego that was established in 2013, and they also have one in Thailand that was established in 2014. Now, they make amazing beers. Like I said, I was able to get 22 beers off of them. There's a lineup. The first 2 parts are going to be the canned parts, and then we're going to do the bottled ones. All right, so let's jump into the actual technicals of these amazing beers. We're going to start with the Pills Don't Pay the Bills. This is a dry hop Pilsner brewed with oats, and it has an ABV of 4.4%. Then we have California Dreams. This is a Pilsner style beer brewed with ale yeast. This has an ABV of 5.8. Then we have Windy Hills. This is a New England style Indian Pale Ale with an ABV of 7%. Then I have the Proof of Concept. Now this one is a West Coast style Indian Pale Ale with an ABV of 6.5%. Finally, I have Tiny Scissors. This is a double Indian Pale Ale brewed with Citra and Michigan grown Chinook hops, and this has an ABV of 8.2. Now let's talk a little bit about the packaging. I mean, they've done an outstanding job on these packages. The design on them are really great. They really stand out. And when we look at the other things that they make, they are just so fun. The color scheme is really good. It's really simple. It's not confusing. I'm absolutely in love with these designs. I mean, they are just so cool. All right, so let's take a look at the tasting notes and figure out what is good and what is bad. But I promise you, these are pretty much all amazing. But before that, do you want to taste like a pro? Head over to tastingskills.com, put your name and email into the magical yellow box, and I will send you my free 17-page guide to the fundamentals of tasting. All right, now let's taste these bad boys. We're gonna start with, of course, the Pills Don't Pay the Bills. On the color, light gold color with a watery meniscus, but quality carbonation on here. On the nose, beautiful maltiness that hides deep complexity of yeast, fresh bread, yellow apples, just a classic Pils nose. On the mouthfeel, dry mouthfeel that delivers the maltiness of this pill. But the acidity drives the lightness that goes on for a long time into endless layers of malt that are well balanced and that deliver everything in a session beer that you want. Now, the Pills Don't Pay the Bills was really good. This is a true session beer here. You can have 4 or 5. They are just delicious. The acidity is really solid. It's not overbearing, which I really love. Just a fantastic, solid beer. All right, let's move on to California Dreams. On the color, deep gold to orange that is a little hazy. On the nose, oranges, tangerine, pineapple, bananas, apricots, honey that is very yeasty. And it has multiple layers of complexity. On the mouthfeel, it's refreshing as it delivers complex layers of everything that I spoke about on the nose. The acidity drives this mouth-watering layers of maltiness that just makes you want to have more. This is such a delight, and again, this is a solid session beer. This California Dream was an absolute delight. I, again, cannot tell you how impressed I am by this brewery. There's just an overall balance and a style that is their own. So good. All right, let's move on to Windy Hill. On the color, hazy deep gold. On the nose, the hops just jump at you out of the glass right away into a complex layers of citrus-like grapefruit, oranges, tangerines, and some lemons into a nice maltiness that keeps on giving. On the mouthfeel, you get apricot, mango, guava, pineapple, grapefruit that pushes a nice acidity that delivers complex layers of the maltiness. This is a well-hopped beer, and the finish is driven between sweet notes and long acidity that keeps on giving. This one was really tropical. This is a staple in my home. I just love drinking this on a regular basis. It has just this beautiful maltiness around it, yet it's very tropical on the other side. It just has an insane finish. This is such a good drinker. I have 2, 3 easily of these without even blinking. So good. I'm absolutely in love. And the packaging is just stunning on this. I just love this. I can't tell you how much I'm in love with these beers, especially on the packaging side. They're just awesome. All right, now let's jump into proof of concept. On the color, hazy amber to deep gold. On the nose, rich nose of maltiness, underwood, bark, roasted oats into a nuttiness that is delightful. And that in turn gives you quality hopping that is delicate. On the mouthfeel, thick layers of maltiness and hops that push a high acidity that delivers complex layers of maltiness and hops that keep on giving. This is very rich and it has a great balance to it. This one had a lot of maltiness on it and the hops were equal to it, and that pushed a lot of complex layers. The maltiness was never ending. This has a little bit more alcohol than the previous ones here, since this is 6.5. This was so good. Again, this is a real driver. It just delivers on all kinds of levels. And if you're into nice thick maltiness, this is a go-to. Proof of concept was amazing. All right, let's move on to Tiny Scissors. On the color, very deep hazy amber. On the nose, malted nose that is all hops into layers of honey, caramel, grapefruit, orange zest with yeasty layers. On the mouthfeel, sweet attack of pineapple, guava, and tropical fruit that turns to the malt as the hops push the quality acidity that delivers complex layers into a never-ending finish. This was so damn good. I mean, the layers and the complexity was mind-blowing. The finish on here just kept on giving. It just had layers upon layers upon layers. I'm not into big hoppy beers yet. This beer just delivered on another level. All right, let's do a quick recap of all of them just so you can figure out what you should buy or what you should pass, or if you should collect any of these. And we're gonna start, of course, with the Pills don't pay the bills. Now, this was an absolute delight. It is a keeper. I'm absolutely in love with it. You should definitely buy that. I don't think that it's a collectible, since this is readily available pretty much year-round. Then we have the California Dreams. This is also a buy. So good. Again, this is the type of beer that is good for a session where you're gonna have 4, 5, 6, or even 7 with some friends just hanging out at the beach. So good. Then we have Windy Hills. This is one of my favorites. Like I said, I usually have that at home 2 or 3 easily in one night. This was so good, so of course it's a buy. Then we have Proof of Concept. This is a buy. This was absolutely delicious. The notes on here were just insane, and the link was really solid. So it's obviously a buy. And finally, we have Tiny Scissors. This was my favorite. Yes, it has a little bit higher alcohol. I mean, we're looking at 8.2% ABV, but the linked on here, the tropical notes, the hoppiness was just mind-blowing. This is an absolute buy. I don't think that you could collect this if you wanted to, since, you know, these beers do have a shelf life, so keep that in mind. All right, now, like I said previously, don't forget to subscribe, since this is only part 1 of 4 parts as I cover all 22 beers that I was able to get from Mikkeller. That's gonna do it for me. IAMOBG for tastingskills.com. Please remember to smash that like button. Otherwise, my friend, please remember, stay sober. Peace.